The following program does not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good afternoon and welcome to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts Fred and Janet Cox right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board right now, send us an email. Our email address is liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of the Liquid Green Health Show, Fred and Janet Cox.
And good afternoon. I had the microphone on mute there. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, it is 5:30 p.m. and it is Sunday, and it is the 11th day of February. Good afternoon and welcome to the Liquid Green Health Show. A warm greeting to all of our listeners and viewers across the United States, Canada, and around the globe. We are the Coxes, and our invitation into your personal space is, of course, genuinely appreciated. Every Sunday at this hour, we commit to providing information in an engaging and edutainment format. And the whole hope of it and the scope of it is to guide you towards a healthier lifestyle. So we want to thank you for being an integral part of this enriching journey with us. Folks, we have a wonderful show this evening that we're going to be touching on.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
The topic is...
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
right?
We've had a few people already writing it saying, somebody says, oh yes, I need this.
Yeah, so thank you for being an integral part of this enriching journey with us. Feel free to keep those emails flowing in. We want to hear from you. Let us know where you're listening from when you're sending our email. It's always nice to know. We want to know that, the location where you're tuning in from. Today's show is proudly sponsored by Liquid Green Products, creators of eco-superior green cleaning products for your home, your office, your car, and of course your pets. And folks, if you're tired of cleaning products that make you sneeze and cough and forces you to leave the room until the fumes dissipate, then you need to seriously take a look at an alternative, and let that alternative be Liquid Green Products. It is ideally formulated for, cleaning surfaces without leaving a toxic footprint. So please visit our website at liquidgreenproducts.com and use the promo code. And guess what? I made a wonderful promo code this time. It's not that long, sophisticated thing that you got to get.
You had to have artificial intelligence to have been able to respond to your code.
And the code, folks, is LGHS101. LGHS101, and you will enjoy a wonderful discount on any one of the items that's on there.
Okay? Congratulations for taking my advice.
No,
like a good husband.
No, you have to listen sometimes. Okay. This is a party weekend, man.
Oh yeah.
The big party, Super Bowl, the Chiefs versus the 49ers in Las Vegas.
And that's all we know about the Super Bowl.
That's all.
I'm
not a sports fan. I'm not a football fan. I am really a fan of the halftime.
Yeah.
Right. I love the halftime. It doesn't matter who's coming on. I just want to see the entertainment.
Remember, we used to have friends. We used to go to the Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
And we had.
I went just for the drinks, the food and the drinks.
Food, the drinks. And that's the day we played like 6-7 games of Scrabble. How boring does that get, right? But it was fun, The guys were doing the dominoes, the ladies were doing Scrabble. And
when you talk about Scrabble, you're aging yourself, right? You're dating yourself.
Oh.
Also, this is pre-Valentine's weekend.
Yes. So in advance, happy Valentine's Day to all our listeners.
To all of our listeners right across the world, happy Valentine's Day to you. And for the Super Bowl fans, I am betting on the winner. Whoever wins, somebody has to win. Whoever the winner is,
May the better
Yeah.
team win,
Yeah.
or may the team you want win,
Right.
whichever, right?
good luck to all of you folks.
But coming back to Valentine's,
Mhm.
um, it's well, okay. I'll let you do your thing first, and I'll come back to what I was going to
Okay,
say.
let me do a disclaimer. We want to make it clear that we are not medical professionals or experts in any of the subjects we will discuss or we will, that we do discuss. Our role is to share research information with the hope that, it may contribute to your journey towards a healthier lifestyle.
Correct.
We ask that you please always consult with a qualified professional for personalized advice on any matters of health. Very, very important.
And you know what? Like we got an email last week. It came in from Cameron.
Yeah.
And we really like when we get suggestions because Cameron says low sodium diet, how to get rid of excess sodium from purchased packaged foods. Example, your chicken, turkey, ham, etc. And so now this is a topic that we will take and we will ask the questions and we will do our research and we'll bring you
And
back.
hopefully
We'll
we'll have
turn
it.
it into
Yeah.
a show.
Yeah.
So Cameron, thank you for that. And you're right. It does
There is
affect
definitely a lot
lot
of
of
sodium
people.
in
Yeah.
those packages. All right.
And so what else this week? Today is February 11th.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the happy birthdays.
Oh yeah, we want to
It's
say a big shout
Gary's
out to our
birthday.
producer Gary. Happy
Thank you.
birthday to you.
Thank
Yes.
you very much.
It certainly is an accomplishment when you are able to go around the sun
Another year.
unhindered for another year. And I wish you all the best. I
Thank
wish you
you.
many more journeys around the sun.
We wish you all the
And,
best, Gary.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm the one that's doing the talking. So
See how you are? Normally, whenever I say I, you say, oh, you always say I.
well, Gary
And
understands.
here you are
It's from
saying,
both of us today, Gary.
I understand.
I'm pointing it out, and you make the excuses. But anyway, it's also another very important birthday for us, and it's my darling sister, Jean. Jean is the fifth of 5 girls, and she is one of my dad's favorite girls, right? That's what he used to say. I say this all the time. And Jean lives in exotic Paris, and she's been there over 30 years. And her husband is French, Italian, and Jean has the kind of life Gary, Mike. Oh, Mike, welcome back to
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
the show. We forgot to re-welcome Mike. You've been off for a while. We
Yeah, thank
sorted
you.
some stuff out.
Yeah,
And-
you don't have to welcome him.
Oh no,
But
he's
Don't
just
worry
Mike.
about it.
He's just Mike.
so much more relaxed
Exactly.
that I don't have to worry about Frederick stressing me out that something's gonna go wrong with the cameras and he won't get it right. So
Okay.
Mike, good to have you back. So
Well, thank you.
February 11th, happy birthday, Jean. I know she's probably not listening because she won't lose the beauty sleep. Francis, what, 6 hours ahead of us?
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there we go. What are we
Okay.
talking about this
Today we have a very interesting topic. We decided, you know what, it's Valentine's, and what better topic to, have a conversation on, but relationships.
Yes,
Right.
but before you go
Stress,
there,
rather, stress. Yeah.
before you go there, I just want to point out that it is February, shortest month of the year, and it is Black History Month.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah. Lots of activities. Lots of activities are going on in the city of Toronto. Black history has been recognized as
it's Canadian history, it's
Yeah.
world history. And
And-
as we always say, it should not be relegated to a month.
no.
And
Even,
you know-
even the Prime Minister came out and said, Black history is Canadian history.
Yeah.
But in the lives that we live, Black history is every day for us. It is world history, and it is important to talk about the experiences. It's important to talk about the achievements and the struggles that,
Mhm.
as a people, that we have been through and still going through.
Yeah.
And,
And as a health show, we also, whenever we talk about anything, we know how certain things affect Black people more than it
more
does.
so than it
Or
does. Yeah.
different things affect different races differently.
Yes.
Right? But last week we had it was a pre-recorded show, and we do have some emails we're going to be responding to next, like privately to
During the week.
during the week.
Yeah.
So here we are, and I'll let you go back to relationships.
Yeah, the topic we're going to be talking about today is stress, relationships, and health. It's a combination of things. Because we know that, stress has always been an inevitable aspect of human life. And it seems more so in modern day lifestyle that this level, this condition has been escalated profoundly. The impact is so great on our personal connections and our overall well-being that, a lot of people are talking about it. Lots of people have been affected by it.
And it's funny, you would believe that stress on the modern life would be less.
It was supposed to.
It's supposed to be less because of all the modern conveniences.
The technology is supposed to be a tool that can be used to, alleviate a lot of the things, the stressful things that we do. But unfortunately, it's not. It's just making it
getting worse.
Worse, right?
Yeah.
And it affects everything from relationships. It has changed the dynamics in both subtle and in both subtle and significant ways in our lives. And moreover, the toll of stress extends beyond the realm of our connections, intertwining with our physical and mental health. And mental health seems to be one of the biggest things that we as humans have been impacted by, right?
And it's all about the S word, stress.
It's all about stress.
So where does stress really come from? We have things that stress us out. We call those stressors.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Can you give me an example?
Relationships, right?
And that's what we're going to focus on today, right? One of the big ones. Yeah. Because I believe with the relationship, if you're in a good relationship, and we're talking about the spousal relationship, doesn't matter if you're, heterosexual, same-sex, whatever, relationship, spousal, right? Or love, love relationship.
I would say coupled relationships, because the way society is today, whether you're married or not, as long as you are in some type of relationship with another human being, there are going to be stresses that you're going to experience.
But we're talking about the love relationship, and there's also relationship with parents and their children.
Yeah.
Also very stressful. The relationship between siblings. We know siblings who haven't spoken for years.
Yep.
Also very impactful, right? All the things that can stress us.
Then you have the work day. Busy work day.
Work.
Right.
One of the big issues. Right. But today, I think with Valentine's and everything, we're going to talk mostly about the stress between you and I.
Me and you?
No. Oh, we have no stress, right?
No.
Yeah, right.
Actually, somebody wrote in today. Somebody wrote to ask if there is any toxicity.
It was Ken. Ken says, Fred and Janet, do we get along?
Yeah, we do.
We get along on camera.
We get along better on camera. But listen, I don't know of anyone that can honestly say in any relationship that they have been in that there isn't some level of stress. It may not get to a toxic situation, but there are going to be moments that you are going to experience some level of discomfort, whether it's emotional or physical, in that relationship.
Yes.
Right. And so we have to face it. And
so what are the reasons, for example, if you're let's say you're in a relationship, what are some of the things that really cause stress?
Finances.
I would say finances is one of the big ones.
Yes.
Right. And what else?
Communication, lack of communication.
Yes, communication, commitment.
Yeah.
Trust.
Arguments, unnecessary arguments.
Yeah, blame game.
We can talk about that because you and I, we don't see eye to eye with a lot of things. A lot of things.
But the good thing is stress can be modified.
Yes.
Because as you said, everybody goes through stress, but there's even a science that can be there's even scientific things that these researchers do to prove that
your mind is in a good place, man. Oh, wow. It's Valentine's, folks.
That stress can be managed.
Yes.
And things that stress us out, we can also, through epidemiology, we can reverse things.
Yes, that can be reversed.
Right? We can reverse things.
And now there are different types of stresses.
Yes.
Right? You have the acute stress and you have the chronic
Chronic
stress.
stress. Now, what are the things that you would say are acute?
Short term.
Short term. For example, every time
don't last so
my
long.
brother needs to use the car,
Yes.
he's looking for the keys.
Mhm.
Notice I didn't say you or I, right? Some people, the car keys. What
Yes.
else? Get it, you go into the
Leaving the
mall.
dishes dirty, right?
Forgetting, did you leave the stove on when you've already left the home?
Yeah.
Right? The little things, the short term things.
Yeah.
Right? If you're at work and your boss says something, or if you're on a radio show and somebody criticizes you, right?
Yeah.
Those are short-term things, and they're acute, and they're designed not to last
How about
long.
driving with your partner and they're telling you, turn left, turn right, don't take this lane. That's short-term stress.
Yes.
That's stress, big time stress.
But you know what? For anybody listening, if you're in a car with a man, they never, well, most of them, let's not generalize, right? They always do something that you need to correct them on. For example, Frederick, if you and I are going out and I'm running a tad late, what do?
I drive at the speed
You
limit.
drive
At the
slower
speed
than
limit.
you
No, no, no,
ever
no, no.
drive before.
No.
And then you just increase the stress because you said you're already late. Why rush?
Yeah, you're already late. Why speed? Why? You
So
can't get to
those
that
are
point
some
much
of the
faster.
stresses that couples go through.
Yeah, but just
right?
leave earlier. That's all you have to do, leave earlier.
But
And the good thing about that type of stress is the body recovers very quickly,
yes,
right?
because that's what we
You haven't
have
gotten into that acute stage,
You
right?
mean the chronic stage?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the chronic stage,
Right.
right?
Be-
So
because when the short-term stresses happen within your body, it's actually a good thing. Stress is actually beneficial.
is that?
Back in the day, we're going way back in the day, the cavemen.
Yeah, okay.
When you were confronted by a lion or a bear or a tiger or something ferocious,
Yes.
your body had to help you to react.
Yeah. You have to decide, well, should I run or fight?
Yes, flight or fight.
Yeah.
And that's what cortisol is all about.
Okay.
It's produced in the brain through the limbic system, and then it acts through the adrenal gland and through the adrenal, two hormones. And that is what produces the cortisol that allows you. It brings
So
more.
that comes from the kidney
sugar.
area.
Yes,
That comes from the
more
kidney.
sugar, more energy
Yeah.
goes to your muscles. You've heard of the people where a baby is being, a car falls on your wife or something, and you get the strength,
Yeah.
and you
Extra
wonder
energy
where
to
did
lift
that
it,
come from? So that is the short-term beneficial
That's the
cortisol
cortisol
that is
production
helping. Yes.
that comes from some area in the kidney, and it sends the message to the brain. You got to act quickly. You got to do this quickly, and then bam,
Yes.
it plays a very important role.
But
right?
now, when it becomes a problem, is when it doesn't go away.
That's a chronic stress.
Yes. So tell us some of those things.
Things like that cause it.
Yeah.
Loneliness is one.
It's a big
trauma.
one. Loneliness is one of the biggest.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I've been looking at John Gray. He's the guy that wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Oh yeah.
And he's like a relationship coach. He's one of the best. And what he says is, I lost my train of thought. Where did we start?
You're talking about the causes of chronic stress. And I said loneliness.
Yes,
Right.
thank you. So what he said was when folks divorce or when people cheat, it's not necessarily because of the sex, it's not necessarily because of infidelity. It usually starts from being alone in the relationship.
Okay.
When you've lost that communication, when you've lost contact, when you feel as if that other person is no longer there for you.
Right.
That's one of the biggest reasons. So you say loneliness, and it's a big one.
Right.
Right.
The next thing would be child abuse.
Yes. For kids who go through sexual abuse by parents or relatives,
Right.
What else? I'm just trying to think of some of the big ones, the ones that
Poverty.
never leave you. Living in eternal poverty,
poverty, yeah.
you find you have no way out. Racism, that's also something that can affect you, and
For
it can affect you
generations,
for
for
generations,
right?
correct.
Because the cells remember that trauma that you went through.
So,
And then you have neglect,
mhm,
where a child or like, and you mentioned it, where an adult or a child can feel a sense of neglect. Nobody likes me, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me. And
right,
that leads to, some form of chronic depression. And it can become, it can lead to many, many other health factors like low blood pressure, high blood pressure,
mhm,
and, chronic pain, depression can also affect your immune system.
yes.
Um,
Heart
and
disease.
yeah, I didn't realize that IBS was one of those
Yeah.
things that
It
can affect.
even causes you to age quicker.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not stressed, if you can handle your stress well,
Mhm.
those are some of the things that will aid in longevity. Right? So now there's also something else. The way women and men deal with stress.
Okay.
Do you know that's profoundly different?
Yes. What do you mean by that?
Because okay, the things, and I
I'll let
think
you
for a lot of folks listening, there is the way in which I think all women should be friends.
Yeah,
And what women have going for them is they talk.
they gossip.
No, they talk
They
and
gossip.
they talk
They
about
gossip and they gossip and they
important.
gossip.
No, I don't even know that word gossip anymore. Women, that's like old. Women talk, and we talk about our relationships with other friends that you trust. And if something is bugging you, you don't hold it up and you don't keep it,
Which is
right?
good.
You
Yeah.
talk about it. With men, now you have to take up for the men.
No, we have been taught to be
Conditioned.
strong. We've been conditioned to be strong. Men don't
Not
cry.
taught,
That's what they
don't
told
cry.
us. Men don't cry. You're strong, and you have to face your challenges, face it head on. So we have been trained to subdue our emotional side.
Precisely.
And
Now,
that
but you're
comes
pretty
back
good.
to haunt us.
You're pretty good with that. Do you have friends that you talk with?
Certain things, no, you don't.
No?
No, because most times you hang around with your friends, you drink a beer, and we talk about, lots of
Women.
nonsense. Everything about women to,
Yeah.
cars and stuff. But not
but if
when
you
it comes to the emotional side of it, we don't express ourselves like that.
So you
Because we feel embarrassed.
So don't you have a friend that if something was really troubling you, do you not have a friend you would go to and talk about it?
It depends on what it is.
Okay.
It depends. All right. Because that's the male side of you that kicks in. Some things you don't say anything about it.
Yeah. And what they're finding out, this is scientific, that men need to talk more about their situations because talking helps to reduce stress. It's testosterone, right? Testosterone, I had some notes on that here. See if I can find it. When men need to relieve stress, what happens is they have a burst of testosterone. And that is what they need to feel. Testosterone keeps them young.
Yeah, well,
And as you age, as a male, testosterone levels drop.
Yeah, when men need to relieve stress,
Mhm.
they do two things. They drink liquor or they have sex.
It could be the same for women. It could be the same for women, but there are different hormones that chip in, right? To get that dopamine, that drug effect, we talk about cortisol, the fight, flight response. There's the opposite. There's a
The
dopamine.
dopamine.
When you take, it's another hormone that is released.
Right.
And again, from the brain.
Mhm. That's a feeling of pleasure and satisfaction.
Yes.
So what do we do? What do humans do for that? Many things. Some people take drugs. Some
Right.
people have meaningful conversations with their friends or significant other.
Mhm.
Some people eat a lot. Some, pick up a book and read. Some do meditation, all manner of things
Yes.
in order to use up that burst of dopamine, bring them that satisfaction and It motivates them to do things that are less stressful.
Yes. So as I was saying, you are 100% correct. And as I was saying, for men, the dopamine is what stimulates testosterone. Testosterone is what makes men feel manly, right? When a young, pretty girl passes by, it's the testosterone
Yeah.
that chips in
Yeah.
that causes that
reaction.
feeling
Yeah.
of pleasure, right? For women also have it, but it's a different hormone. It's actually, I was really surprised to hear this. It's oxytocin. And we know about oxytocin. We've done shows on that, right?
Yeah.
Oxytocin is the opposite for women. And that when they get a burst, like a shot, when this hormone reacts within women, it takes them on a high, like really, let's say sexual again, pleasure. But then what happens in real world when you're on that drug? You go to the high and then bang, you drop really low, right? So the thing is, if you were to read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, it's really, really interesting because the things that men do to calm them down are so much different from what women do.
Yes.
Right? If a lot of men, the wife is arguing, storm, the kids are running around, broken dish, everything is just going nuts. The wife reacts and goes crazy, right? What does the man do? Calm.
Take it easy, lady. Take it easy, lady. What's the matter with you? Why are you so stressful?
He won't talk about it and he will just sit down or go away, drive, and just leave the situation.
Yes, because
Right?
again, we have been trained to control ourselves in these stressful situations. Don't show your emotions, right? And just sit down and take it easy. And that's why a lot of us get heart attacks.
And but what a woman wants, let's say, okay, let's talk about Valentine's for a minute.
Yeah.
Roses. What makes women so happy, right? You bring a dozen roses, 2 dozen red or pink roses. It is, you've scored major points.
But you know, you won't get that from me.
But
you wouldn't get any rose because I do not believe in killing plants.
Oh,
to
gosh.
Make a presentation. To make a present.
Or is that you're just cheap? Which is it?
No, why should I kill a plant to give to you, right? And then you'll watch it and it dies. A hug is much more effective than flowers, in my opinion.
Do you eat
Several
meat?
hugs.
Do you eat meat?
Yes, I do.
So aren't you killing an animal?
But that's
to eat
totally
meat?
different.
So
That is to give me sustenance.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you kill? Oh,
No,
that is
no,
actually quite.
No.
That is actually
No.
DUMB.
No. It's not dumb. That's my opinion. Why should I go and buy a set of dead roses? Yeah, they look beautiful, but why kill the plant?
I think you're just saying that for a reaction because that's not true.
No,
You used to buy cards.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing. Like, and used to write glowing things in cards, etc.
Yes.
Right?
But that's not killing. That's not killing a plant.
Oh, I am not going to go there with you because that doesn't make any sense to me.
To me, it does.
No sense. What makes sense to me is that, as John Gray says, if you're going to get roses, if you're going to give your wife or your significant other roses or whatever, chocolates,
yes,
all right, or a bottle of wine or a new whatever it is, a gift, you score points. We're talking about relationships and how to de-stress and how to keep it alive.
Yeah, but my point is a hug is 1,000 times better.
Sure, a hug on a daily basis.
Yes.
Do you know you need to do
that physical touch, right? That energy, that transference of energy to another person. Yes. It's 1,000,000 times better than cutting flowers and giving to the person.
Sure, but do you know that there are women out there that probably would love to have one rose from somebody because it means something special? So I'm not going there about you killing the plants. As I said, I'm not going there. We're talking about what it is that you're going to do in a relationship that's going to keep it alive for years and make it work. Communication. As a matter of fact,
number one. Communication.
Communication, trust, and commitment.
Yes.
Right? Those are the three big ones.
Not roses. I've never heard about roses making a relationship better. There is no scientific proof
Frederick, for
Idiots.
hundreds of years,
Idiots.
hundreds of years.
Yes.
One of the gifts on Valentine's, they will sell
That's
more roses.
commercialism.
It is commercialism, but it's good commercialism.
No, and it's not good commercialism. It's killing plants to how many trees would you cut down to
Do you do Christmas trees?
No. You know that. I don't like Christmas.
You're such a okay. How can we be married 44 years? I don't get it. That's the
It's
secret.
the secret.
Anyway, let's go to some emails and see what's happening.
Ancient Freddy's secret. That's what.
That's because I am.
Okay, let's go to some email. Let's go to some email. Here it is. Here's one. First one I'm going to read.
Okay.
This is from Gloria.
Mhm.
Fred, Super Bowl? You mean the Taylor Swift Bowl? All eyes are on her. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard she's making an
Is she
an
going
entrance.
or is she not
I don't
going?
know. I heard she's supposed to go. I don't know. I don't follow it.
So who's playing the halftime again? Usher?
Yeah,
They were
if she was
saying
doing
he
the
may-
halftime, I would have had more interest.
No, but they say probably he may invite her to come on stage.
That's
But
celebrity.
who
That's-
knows? But Taylor Swift, she's like awesome. She's doing like,
Here's one from
Mhm.
Tommy, and Tommy says, "Hey, to the Coxes, money is the biggest stress factor in any relationship. Your show is great." And you know what?
I
I
agree.
would agree with that to a certain
A
extent.
certain extent.
Yeah, because you can overcome the trials and tribulations of money if you take it into perspective.
If money was the biggest, why is it that rich people who have so much money still have the problem? Right?
Yeah,
So
it's not
finances, yes.
finances,
Perhaps
yes.
if you have too much of it, then it's still a problem. I don't know.
Failure
But-
to use money properly, or the lack of understanding of money in itself, is a big problem.
Yeah.
All right, so I would put that as number 2, not number 1, but
What
it
do you
is a
say
bit
number
stressful.
1?
Lack of communication.
Okay.
Lack of
Mhm.
communication is number 1. Bob says, Coxes, my wife and I have decided we don't want kids. If you're interested, please contact us immediately to arrange dropping them.
To arrange dropping them off.
To arrange dropping them off.
I wonder how old Bob's kids are. Because you know what? We would love to have them. We love our grandchildren, and
Yeah.
probably they're that young. We only have 2 grandkids. We can take some more, Bob. Drop them off.
Bring them along. Here's one from Lisa. Hi, Coxes. My stress, repeating myself to my significant other. There is no reason for that. If you really love and care for each other, listen, the first time, listen the
Amen.
first time. Amen.
Okay,
Okay,
that's where you
that-
talk about the communication.
Yeah. We have a way, it's not that your significant other is not hearing, but it's just,
Tune them out.
maybe it's not important to them.
And
What is important to you
might not
might
be
not
important.
be,
And therein lies the problem.
yeah, but
Because when you come home from work and you want to tell me about everything, like not you, I'm not talking
yeah,
about
I
men,
understand.
right?
Yeah.
When men come home, and it's changed now because women are now at work as well. But somebody comes in from work and they want to talk about a day. Let's say you're a cop, you've had a bad day, you're a female, you come home, and then you still have the usual chores, because even though so many things have changed, women still tends to be the ones who mainly handle the things at home, like the cooking, the laundry, etc.
Yeah.
Lots of men have helped. Things have changed. The roles are changing. You have female doctors. You have female playing bigger roles, bringing home bigger checks than some of the men,
Yeah.
right? But the communication, as you say, we have to.
You have to share, you have to
understand.
compromise. Compromising is
And
a
listen,
big factor.
that's a big one. But if you don't get it the first time, well, are you willing to listen the second time, right?
Yeah, listen the second time.
And first, does he need to
It
get
depends. It
hearing aids?
depends on what the conversation is. It depends on what
Interest.
it depends on what the person is asking the other person.
No, do you know that this guy, John Gray, he says one of the things to score the biggest points in a relationship is just what, is it Lisa?
Listening?
Listening.
Yes.
If men would listen more, because women need to talk. They say our stress level is 5 times more when we come home.
No, but we're listening, but we don't want to hear the same thing over and over again.
But you're
It's a
supposed to
recurring
listen.
decimal.
No, you're supposed to listen and say, okay, tell me more. Anything else? Until she is talked out.
No, we're not trained to do that. We're not trained to do that. Because if the minute,
So much
no, the
more.
minute you get into that role, then you're going to be listening forever. You got to hear every single thing. Some things are insignificant in the conversation that you don't want to hear it. Get to the point. That's it.
Okay. Now, physiologically, a woman's brain, and this is a fact, women don't forget anything.
No, they're
We're
like elephants. They're like
right?
elephants. Yeah, I agree with that.
There's a part of our brain, the hippocampus, that is 2 times bigger than a man's. All right?
Yeah.
And
Now, what's the purpose of that?
now, what happens there is that the blood flow goes to a woman's brain, right? And so we have 8 times more blood flow to the hippocampus. We are bombarded with our memories. Let's say you're in a relationship and the man has done something wrong, or the woman has done something wrong. But anyway, the man has done something wrong to the woman. And they'll talk about it and he will forget it as if it never happened.
No,
For the
it's not a
woman, it doesn't ever go away. See, it says we have stronger emotional reactions.
yeah.
And therefore, we're going to keep bringing it up.
No, that's the annoying part about the whole thing. After you've spoken about it and you come to some rational agreement, then I'm not saying forget it, because there's certain things you can't forget. It will always come up. But learn to live with this situation, because the more you keep bringing it up, is the more stress you're putting on that poor man, right? And that's why a lot of us end up dying before our wives, because they stress the daylight out of us. They do. They keep remembering things. Or you remember this, you remember that. And they imagine all of these things that are happening that never happened.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's not by choice. Women don't do this by choice.
I think so.
No.
I think so.
There are studies out there that prove this.
It's junk studies.
This show is all about. No, we're not going to listen to you just be flippant about it. Be serious.
No, I'm being serious.
It is serious. Women are physiologically different than men.
I don't doubt that.
In terms of how we respond.
But it doesn't mean that every single time or every 3 months or 6 months you must bring up something that happened 10 years ago. Because what you're doing, you're inflicting unnecessary stress on the man.
But they're just going to have to learn to deal with it, because that's the makeup of the woman. Now, for the woman, what she needs to do is to agree with them sometimes. They say one of the things is men usually, they like the pat on the back. For example, Frederick,
you love the pat.
You get the haircut.
Yeah. And you don't recognize the haircut until 72 hours later.
That's the female side of you. That's where the estrogen is kicking in.
No, but if you came in the house, if you came in the house with your hair just done, and I do not respond.
No, that is not true.
That is very true. Very, very true.
Sorry.
Okay.
Folks, if you're listening, honest to goodness, that is not
true.
That is true. Frederick, you're the one that you come in and you shave and you have a haircut.
And I don't say anything.
And you get upset about it.
No, I don't get upset. That's not true. I don't get upset. I just wait and wait and wait. Like one time it took 2 days.
And for me, it doesn't matter. So what happens is that for women, usually, it's the women who want those types of acknowledgements. The women want the roses. The women want the chocolates. The women want the compliments. The women want to say, yes, you look fantastic in that dress, even if you don't. No, you're not fat, right? All of those things. So those are the things that when for you personally, Fred Cox, when I don't comment on something that you look or whatever, you don't, but it shouldn't matter. For most men, it doesn't. They don't care.
No. It's not that I care, but I just want to remind you that had I done something like that to you, right, it would have been a totally different situation.
I don't know if because I'm the third girl, my parents wanted a boy. I don't know, but I find that some things that a lot of women crave, whatever, the attention. Some of those things, I find it, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't care if I got a haircut and you don't notice. I don't care. Do I like it myself? Yes. And if I like it, I'm happy with that decision, right? So anyway, let's
You
go back
notice
to
I'm
some,
looking at you, right? You know.
let's go back to some emails. They're coming
Okay, here's one from Jamie. And Jamie says, hi to Jonathan Fred. I
in.
wrote to you earlier about this topic. Here's what I did. Here's what
Did it for
did
me.
it for me.
Mhm.
I asked my wife to let me know the next time she has an orgasm. And she says she doesn't like to bother me when I'm at work. I will,
I will
I'll be
be,
seeing the lawyer next.
oh my goodness.
See, this is the beauty of doing a live show,
yes.
right? Because you
goodness.
read, you open up the email and you just keep
Don't know what
reading.
to
You
expect.
don't know what to expect, but this is funny,
That is
right?
funny. Gary, I hope we don't have to put on the child. This is what's that sound we need
Not
to make?
recorded for children, right?
Right.
But
It's
this
a
is funny.
family show.
But no, but this is a funny one.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, Jamie.
It's a
maybe
joke.
maybe seeing a lawyer is a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The lawyers end up with all the money, yeah?
Yeah, here's one from
The-
Donna.
Mhm.
You read that one.
Now, hello, Janet and Fred, Fred and Janet. Now, this is a show listening to the both of you argue. We love it. It's so hilarious. Great show. Thank you, Donna. And Olivia says, hey, Fred, this is for you.
I don't
What-
see it. Yeah, she probably meant to
Oh,
send
send
something.
something.
but-
Oh,
Oh,
here
there
it
it
is.
is. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
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 Now, look at how you went. Wow. Look at
No,
those.
I'm-
That's
I'm-
about
no.
3 dozen roses.
No, I'm not.
And you said, wow.
Not at the roses, is at the brilliance of the image.
That's what it is. I need a lawyer. Oh, I need a lawyer.
But,
Because
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It
I would
is,
say.
yes, it's beautiful. And this is what happens. This is a picture on a screen.
Yeah, but it's
And
not,
it's so beautiful.
yeah, but it's not real.
I remember
It's
my
picture.
girlfriend Gloria. She gave me, my husband didn't, but my girlfriend Gloria, she gave me what? A dozen pink
Yeah.
giant roses.
Mhm.
I didn't even want to throw them out.
No, because you thought it was me.
No, I didn't. Hell no, I didn't think it was you. Anyway,
It's Donna. Donna, we love this show today. Coxes, we are laughing our asses off. You are so right on. Fred
Fred and
and
flowers.
flowers. If we don't cut them, they are going to die anyway. So someone should enjoy them.
thank you,
Good point.
Donna. And that's coming from a woman.
Very good point.
Right?
Donna. I would not argue about that. I wouldn't argue about that.
So now,
Right.
am I going to get roses?
No. Here's one from Ken. I had to write you again. You are on fire today. So funny. I called a friend of mine to tune in. What a show.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Oh,
Now there's some other thing. Oh, let me read Tom. Cox's, wow, so hilarious today. Your show makes me think. Love it.
okay.
Right.
Now, you know what? Over the years, as we said, we've been together a long time,
Yeah.
right? And I believe that we cannot say we have not been through.
Oh, we've been through a lot. We've been through,
turbulence,
yeah, we've been through
We've been-
earthquakes, tsunamis,
tornadoes,
you name it, folks.
but we've also had the nice, calm days
yeah,
on
but
the
but
beach.
you know what took us through, even though those situations were,
Mhm.
it could have been devastating
We could have been divorced, what, 20,000
several
times?
times. But
right?
we've always talked about the situation. We have a practice where we've tried as much as possible not to go to bed angry.
And that you're lucky because I don't like to sleep alone. I think because I was raised in a big family where we always had to share the bed,
Yeah.
share the pillow.
Yeah.
We
And
went to
and-
boarding school, we slept in a dormitory. I don't like to sleep alone, folks. And therefore, I don't care how bad the argument is. I am going into that bed and I need my shoulder.
And get up next morning and argue. Get up next morning and the argument continues, right? But the thing is,
Dopamine,
yeah,
that's making us
the
feel
thing
better.
about what
Mhm.
I've noticed is that we have never blamed each other for any of the situations that we have experienced when it comes to difficulties.
Like when I loaned money to that girl,
Yeah, and
tons of it, and didn't tell you.
Right.
Oops.
and it is always
Yeah.
especially when it's a financial crisis that you're
Crisis.
going through, we always told ourselves it's only money.
Yeah.
Right?
And my
It's only money.
favorite, what's my favorite word? I don't do stress.
No.
Because so many people, stress takes you out.
Yeah.
Stress kills folks. And
So,
it makes you frazzled, and we got to learn how to
yeah,
deal with it.
you got to
right?
talk about it. You got to laugh. And look how many times we look back at situations and we said, we actually did that. And we make jokes of it and laugh about it, right? So,
And you know what's the other important thing for people to stay connected? If you are friends,
yeah,
because you know, the love, the passion, that comes and it goes. As a matter of fact, statistics says only 7%, well, we're talking North America, 7% of folks who are married say they have sex. I want to say it on air, but too late.
it's okay. People do it. Birds do it.
For more than once a week,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So some people, it's like, it says 35% are living in relationships where there's no intercourse, period. Probably once every few months.
Mm.
And that is what's called not a loveless marriage, because, you know, as long as both parties, the couple is on the same page, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
The problem comes in when one person wants something that the other person can't give, and then you have the conflict.
So how do
Right?
we deal with this stress
We
thing?
talk it through.
Oh, what is the best thing? Is it communication? Is it compromising?
It's everything.
If you're in a relationship, you have to learn to compromise, you know, because if you don't do that, then egos are going to flare and you're going to have some serious problems.
We need to identify what it is we need to talk about.
That's it. You need to identify what it is. And in many instances, some partners, one of the partners don't have that willingness to identify and accept.
When you don't care anymore, that's when the divorce happens.
Well, it is no, I don't see
about talking about it.
It's not, no, I don't think it's that you don't care. It's just that some people just can't get to that point where they can express themselves
No, well, yeah,
emotionally.
yes.
Because it takes you have to get to an emotional state where you can say, you know what, I understand, I accept, and you know, I want to make amends.
If you want it, you see, I believe the divorce happens when you've reached the bottom. And no matter what you say, it's too late.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. Your apology might be sincere, but it's too late.
It's too late. Yeah.
And therefore, there's no point to even trying anymore.
Yeah.
Although some counselors, I'm sure that's why marriage counselors they exist, so that people can come and talk about it, right? But sorry?
Yeah. Now, I've heard about beneficial stress. Is there such a thing as beneficial? Can stress be beneficial in any way?
We talked about that earlier when we
did?
said, yeah, the flight fight response. That's actually beneficial, because if you put your hand, a kid who puts their hand on a hot stove, if he didn't have any fear, if there was not a sensation, if that cortisol didn't react and cause him to run or, you know, stop that action, then he would be in some serious problems.
Okay.
So the benefit is the short term, and that's what it does. The problem comes in when the body, physiologically now, the body has decided, you know what, there is chronic stress. This person is constantly operating at a high level of stress. So the body tunes in to dealing with that chronic stress.
And forgets about everything else.
Forgets about the little thing. And that's why we end up with cold.
Yeah.
That's why
high blood
we end up
pressure,
with hives
hypertension, hives,
Yes.
and all sorts. And some people can even become schizophrenic.
Yeah, the small things that the body is supposed to work on.
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't deal with it.
Yeah, with the immune system,
It's dealing with other things. It's dealing with the external.
believes it has emergency situation all the time, right?
It has the what's the word I'm looking for? It is required for it to take care of these external factors so
Yeah.
that it does not harm
Mhm.
the rest of the body. And
Yeah.
so it puts a lot of energy into that, right? But what can we do about it?
Well, people have to learn, first of all, to love themselves. To me, that is the key.
That is a
Right.
very difficult thing for a lot of people because when people talk about loving themselves, and I'm just assuming,
Okay.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I think they look at the material aspects of love,
Mhm.
like pampering yourself, making sure that you're taking care of yourself financially and stuff like that. They're not looking at the spiritual or emotional aspect of it
Mhm.
because they have not been trained to think that way, to look at life that way. And so
Yeah.
I when I listen to a lot of people saying, "Oh, love yourself and do this," I want to think that
You have to learn.
you have to
Again,
learn.
it's
It's
something you
it's a
have to learn.
learned thing that you have to
And guess what?
be.
It's becoming worse because what we have this thing we call social anxiety.
Yes.
And social anxiety it's a fear that you're going to be rejected. Your
Oh,
social media friends are going to drop you. You
yeah.
don't have enough likes. Look at us. We're constantly asking, send in, we'll do it right now again.
Yeah.
Make sure you like, go on YouTube, make sure you subscribe,
Yes.
right? When you feel rejected, that brings on a whole level of stress.
Yeah.
So can you imagine in a relationship?
That's a very good phrase.
You've
A very good term you
Mhm.
use. Handling rejection,
Correct.
right? Handling rejection is something that we have got to learn to deal with. And it
So
starts from a very early age,
correct.
right?
And that's why, last week again, I come back to this with the whole black issue.
Mhm.
And we were talking with Kira about it and our son Kofi. And Kira said two young ones in the family, Maya
Mhm.
and Nova. There were three-year-old girls. And constantly you had to tell them in daycare, these kids are coming home and they're saying, I don't like my skin.
Right.
I don't like my color, my hair. So it's subconscious.
Yeah. And you have to
And that's
constantly
where
reminding
we
them,
have
yeah,
to
enforce that black is beautiful thing.
that's what it
Yes.
is. So it's not as if you're trying to say it by encouraging your kids and talking about the beauty, etc. It doesn't mean nobody else is,
No.
right? So
It is
that is one of
because of
the
the,
things
it's,
we have
yeah,
to
it is
really.
because of those experiences up front. And
If you don't learn
young
to
children,
love
yeah,
yourself, you're going to have
you're
problems.
going to have a problem.
And that's why they say people who are poor, sometimes the inferiority complex that comes from being poor, it's there's a self-hate. Why me? Why did this happen to me?
Yeah.
Right? And if we can learn to not to internalize these things, right? It's real. It's called social anxiety disorder. And it's this fear of being personally rejected.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens a lot in marriages. When you're in the beginning stages and you fall in love and it lasts for what, 2 weeks? I'm just kidding. It lasts for the first few years.
Yeah.
Then the babies come and, less sex, everything else. And then you start gaining a few pounds and the knees hurt and whatever.
You're not the same as when I said I do, right?
But if that inherent love and respect was there from the beginning,
Yeah.
I believe it's like a child growing. To me, it's like a child growing. You love the cute little babies, but do you want them to stay babies forever? No. You love when they're toddlers.
Yeah.
You love when they're in pre-teens and when teenagers. I love my adult children. The level of conversation we can have right now, totally
Yeah.
different. The same in a relationship. You have to love your pot belly, Frederick, that you're trying to work on.
What are you pointing to me? Like I don't have a pot belly.
Well, it's
No,
not
I don't have a punch.
it's not a six-pack like Maxwell.
No, I don't have a six-pack, but I don't have a punch.
Oh dear.
No. That's
What
lie
else?
number one.
No. I'm not
You see,
saying
you
you
can't
don't
say
look.
anything. You look,
I am
you
not
see,
saying you
you
still
see.
don't look good, but you don't look like you did at 30.
No,
You're
no,
not
and I
as
don't
strong
expect to.
as you were at 40.
No, no.
Right? And the
I
same,
agree with
like
that.
the same.
But don't lie to the audience and tell them that I have a punch. This is not true.
Well, you don't
It
have a
is not true.
six-pack.
I don't have a
But
six.
it doesn't matter. I love you anyway, right? It
Lie,
doesn't matter.
lie.
And as to my 10 pounds that I'm still trying to lose, We need to get Ambreeze. Ambreeze, I'm failing miserably.
Okay.
Anyway, what our time like?
We're almost there. We're almost there.
Oh my goodness.
But you know, this is interesting because it's Valentine's and it
Yeah.
is an appropriate topic that we broach this afternoon. There's some other things we talked about the beneficial stress, right? And we talked about what we can do about it. And when it comes to dealing with stress, we talk about that. We can create a negative cycle where stress, it is said, it can be contagious.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you are stressful in a relationship, that other person takes on that vibe, that energy is transferred to that person. You make that person gets angry, and they can even become angrier than you are, and that can escalate the situation. So in that sense, yes, it is contagious, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody becomes stressful, nobody is listening, and then everybody gets frazzled and they start saying things that they don't really mean, only to recognize sometime later that I should not have said what I said. I feel sorry. But the party that is hurt based on what you've said don't accept your apologies, and it escalates to another level. Right. So,
but
we
guess
have to
what?
learn.
There's good news in Canada anyway. In Canada, 1994, 12.9% of people per 1,000 people. That was the percentage of people who got divorced. And now 12.9%. And now it's actually down to 7.5%. But they say it's not because people are staying in love longer. It's because people are aging.
So there's a bunch of old people together.
And therefore, as you age, I think you've kind of mellowed
out,
and things,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look at me.
But
I've mellowed out.
You will sure have.
Yeah.
They say that in a good, healthy relationship, you can maintain that love, sexual relationship till you're way into your 80s, as long as you stay healthy. What do you need to stay healthy? Eat right, sleep, exercise, laugh. Which reminds us, I think we need a vacation.
I do. I need to go.
We agreed, right?
Yeah,
agreed.
agree with that.
Okay.
Agree with
And I think we have come to the end.
No, we have lots of time. But folks, let me just remind you, for those of you who have joined us late, you are listening to the Coxes on Reality Radio 101. Today's topic is about stress and the negative impact it can have on relationships. And this is the Liquid Green Health Show. We do this every Sunday. We choose a topic and we talk our heads off, and we laugh. Sometimes we fight. Sometimes we say things that our audience don't like, but that's the nature of the show. That's what it's all about. But we try to keep things focused on health. We try to, as much as possible, break it down in a layman's term, because we're not doctors, we're not psychologists in any way, we're not experts. We do our research and then we bring it to you the best way that we can, hoping that it will trigger something in your mind that will want you to make a change in your current status, right? And that's basically what it's all about.
So if I had to sum it all up, what I would say is that in order to deal with stress, you have to know it's all starts in the brain, right? People with chronic stress have perpetual high cortisol levels.
Yeah.
What you have to do is try to think about stress differently. And you know what they say, one of the main reasons to reduce stress, go and help somebody else who is experiencing stress. Help them to deal with their stress.
No.
And that will help you to take your mind off yours.
I disagree with
I
that.
think that's what they mean.
Okay, that's on the physical level.
Yeah.
I would say, first you have to change your mindset. It starts in the mind, right? And it affects your physical behavior. But everything starts in the mind. I always come back to that.
Yeah.
If you are not cognizant of the conditions that you're experiencing on the conscious level, then you're going.
So that's why the meditations and those things come in.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if you want to reduce your stress,
Yeah.
help somebody. And I think we're out of time.
No,
I'll
that's
rest my
taking on other
case.
people's problems. I don't believe in taking on other people's problems. I'm a different person. I am not putting myself in the path of
Anyway,
no.
anyway,
Be anyway, we're out of time, folks.
Yes.
It's minutes. We just have a few seconds left. And
Mhm.
I am going to take this opportunity to wrap things up, to thank everyone that is listening to our show today. I'm going to remind you also, visit liquidgreenproducts.com and use the code LGHS101 and get that wonderful discount that we have put in there, right? Try our products. You're going to love it. And
Mhm.
with that, I'm going to end today's show by doing our regular conclusion.
Mhm.
It is essential to remember that good health is at the core of human happiness and overall well-being. It plays a pivotal role in contributing to prosperity, wealth, and even economic progress. And as healthy individuals, we enhance our productivity and may even extend our lives. So until we convene next Sunday, same time, same station, I'm asking you to prioritize your well-being. This is Jonathan Fred saying, let's stay healthy
On
on
Reality
Reality
Radio
Radio
101.
101.
And
Have a
happy
one
Valentine's Day,
and a happy
everyone.
Super Bowl evening to all of you. Enjoy
And
the
I
show.
hope some ladies will get some roses today, next week. Thanks.
No comments.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Let's stay healthy, right? Okay.
Thank you for listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts, Fred and Janet Cox, right here on Reality Radio 101.